Good morning to everybody. My name is Antonio Andropov. So happy that you have entered my world of happiness. And now you can be happy with Antonio in a world of dreamy landscapes and delightful 0% milk and cereal that tastes sweet and golden and beautiful. What does really mean? There's nothing but delicious. It'll taste like sugar, but there's nothing but good. It's kind of like on the smoothie they have, just a spoon for sugar helps medicine go down. Medicine go down. Okay, baby. Ooh, this is so good to say. I get the tour. I get to go tour this building. This is what Antonio does best. Antonio is so happy to be on the .com. For everybody to the .com. This is what Antonio does with the .com. He goes to the thing and he types in the .com. He goes, and he has a .com. This is what Antonio does. So it's the 20 or 21st? Ah, the 20 or 21st. 20 or 21st. 20 or 21st. 20th or 21st. Thursday? This works out for me. I don't have anything important to say. This is like, you ever seen Seinfeld? How horrible it was? That's how horrible this will be. It's truly about nothing. This is just a crazy old man here talking to himself. He says, Daka! This is what Antonio does. He gets This is what Antonio does to everybody. And sometimes he gets to singing. He gets very happy. I don't know how to say it. This does not make no sense to Antonio. What does he say? This is said to somebody's .com. This says a .com. .com? Or .com? .com? This does not make a .com. I didn't make a .com. I was standing on the .com. I didn't make a .com. .com. I don't know how to work no chat, man. We're just gonna, spend time together in this lovely environment, man. It's because you become what you think about, man. You gotta release your inhibitions and shit, man. Become free, You gotta rock and roll, man. You gotta plug your guitar into your amplifier, man. And you got to rock and roll. Cause rock and roll ain't no pollution, man. To me, it makes God sense. Good sense, yes, Lord. That's so this is what I'm doing today. I've been out making videos around this place. Because it's fun to go there and make videos. I was walking around, I was talking to myself, which I'm pretty good at. I spent several years studying how to talk to myself. It becomes very good if you're able to talk to yourself and not freak out because everybody else is going to be freaking out if you're talking to yourself. But you can't worry about these people. These people don't know what they're saying. They're just about the .com. This is what the .coms do in the .com. They call you on the .com. They say .com. You'll say to them, you'll say, this is not the .com. This is the .com. This is not the .com. This is .com. I said Grizz. Good morning to you, Grizz. This is Antonio talking to you. Grizz. Hello, Grizz. Hello, Grizz. We not do anything good. We just a bit crazy. .com. We joined into the radio. We plugged it into the .com. And we got us the .com. Going on the .com. So this is what I'm working on today. I've got 3 tiers of projects I'm working on. I've got a staffing pile in here in the center. This is the center of the business. And then over here, I have some storage stuff going on. And then over here, I have some Buddy Bass things going on. And then down here, I have some chamber thing stuff going on. And then I have some Sahara things going on. It's really what I need to be concentrating some of my time on is Sahara. This is the South Arkansas Human Resources Association. I am the president of that particular group. We're a version of SHRM, Society of Human Resources Management. And this is how we spend our time, by studying what's going on in the human resources industry. And here lately, I have not contributed much to that particular social media platform because I've been busy with others. We had a chamber director to leave, and one in which I'm on the board on. So I had to go about the process of helping the rest of the team develop a new chamber director, which is always a challenge. So that's a hard role to fill. But I think we did a pretty good job. We found someone that already has money and doesn't mind working for free, basically. That's always good, isn't it? You have to really enjoy that type of work whenever you're contributing to social things like that. And the business, you have to really you have to enjoy the work, and you have to get into small business yourself. It's almost required that you get into small business and start producing. But what I'm doing with this stuff here is that I manage multiple Facebook pages, social media pages, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. I don't really mess with other ones too much, although I have advertised some on TikTok on a package deal. I'm not really big on it. I do like Facebook. People hate on Facebook, but Facebook is kind of like a utility now to me. Facebook is like having electricity or having anything else. You got to have it. It's a way to get your business out there. Generation X, boomers, they're all on there waiting for a political fight, typically. But I'm not on there for that. I'm on there to help spread the word. Usually as a recruiter, I'm looking for people to work for businesses. This is some of the stuff that we do over here. I don't know if you can see this wall. You can't see this wall. But just some of the things I have going on here in terms of staffing is lithium. There's a lot of lithium extraction going on in South Arkansas, particularly Southwest, South Central Arkansas. ESA Staffing, with whom I'm representing on this particular endeavor, is a big player in lithium. We helped staff the very first, the only so far lithium plant in Arkansas. Shut the fuck up, Donnie. Donnie, please. Dad, come home. Mom and I miss you. We love you, man. We love you, man. I love you, Skink. I love you, Skanking son. Daddy'll be home soon. Shut the fuck up, Donnie. That's what I say. The dude, man. So that's what you call me. Okay? I'm the dude. That's what you call me, man. You're outside the fucking grid, bro. You're not in the fucking... Where the fuck do you think you at? You're outside of the fucking grid, bro. Outside of the fucking grid. You're not in your little world anymore. You're in my world. My crazy ass fucking world. If you don't like it, get the fuck out of here. I don't give a shit. You want to know brilliance? You want to fucking know genius? Come here. You become what you think about. But daddy be home soon, matters. I'll take care of mama for you too. Love her. Love dad. Anyway, I'm used to people clowning on me. I clown back there. Antonio, get to hell up. Boom! Oh, boom! What you got for me? You a professor? I am. I have multiple degrees. But I'm not professing right now. What I'm doing is I own multiple businesses is what I am, what I do. Staffing businesses, which is what we're doing here. Primarily working in lithium, defense, lumber, construction. We make a lot of bombs. So go make everybody in the world so happy.com. But I do all kinds of things. Right now, I'm just sharing my big brain with you because I'm so smart and talented and a genius. And everything I say that comes out of my mouth is nothing but pure gold and energy for you. It will allow you to transcend existence and move on to the next plane. Do you know what Antonio said to you? Antonio talks to you so good.com. .com. Well, back to what we were talking about here. Really, another part of what I've been doing lately is covering a whole lot of history of the communities in which I exist. I got to put on back all these questions. I've heard a lot about lithium lately. Do you have any good advice on how to get into working with a small budget right now? Well, it depends on what you want to get into it with. Lithium is big in Southwest Arkansas. I mean, I could pull up the maps for you and show you, but just type in standard lithium, Southwest Arkansas. Type in Exxon Mobil, Southwest Arkansas. When you start typing in Exxon Mobil, Southwest Arkansas, and you start typing in standard lithium, Southwest Arkansas, you're going to see some amazing stuff. It's the next revenue creation thing there is. There's enough. Okay, let me tell you about what's going on over there in Southwest Arkansas. Okay, there is something called the Magnolia Formation. You ever heard of the Magnolia Formation? The Magnolia Formation is a feature underground. A long time ago, where I'm standing in South Central Arkansas, this was an ocean. It was a sea, a shallow sea at the very end, and then it became what it is right now, which is a bunch of rivers. Yeah, keep that there. Keep that there. But it's a bunch of rivers. But it's what's left of an ancient sea. And in this Magnolia Formation, which is 10,000 feet underground, there was a cavern underground. And in that cavern, a lot of that, what they call brine or ancient seawater, was in there. And there's dead plants and animals, and it's all mixed together inside of the bottom of this huge crevice or fissure in the ground called the Magnolia Formation. And companies like Linksys, whom we've been working with for decades, my partner and I, we first came across them back in the early 2000s. And I went over there to their local plant in El Dorado, Arkansas. I was like, look, man, we want to do business with you guys. And they said, well, call this number. And it was a number in Connecticut. And we called it and said, hey, we want to get an appointment. Me and my partner, we got on an airplane and we flew to Connecticut, which is in the middle of everything. There's New York, everything just right there densely. We're talking about two Southern Arkansas boys. We dressed in our Sunday best, which means that we were borrowing clothes, jackets, suit jackets and stuff. And we walked in there, and it was basically the guy basically Ferris Bueller guy. Bueller. But we walked in and we started talking about what we wanted to do in the specialty chemicals industry, which is it's included with the lithium in my brain because it comes out of the same place, which is the Magnolia Formation. But back then it was just about bromine, and bromine is extracted from this ancient seawater that's in this Magnolia Formation that was created millions of years ago, and it's been there And it's a rich, very rich. Uh, I don't know what you even call it. It's like a experiment, I guess. But when you start extracting that out in the same ways that you would drilling a water well or an oil well or a petroleum well, whatever you want to call it, you start extracting that up, and it runs it through different processes. Lanxess, whom we work with in the chemical industry, they extract bromine from it. And bromine is used as a fire retardant. It's used for many different reasons. It used to be used inside of Mountain Dew. The same stuff, ancient seawater, was put into Mountain Dew as a preservative. It's no longer used. It's called bromiated oil of some sort. It's no longer used inside of Mountain Dew. But uh, and bromine is only located in like 3 places in the world: in Southwest Arkansas, in Israel, and in China. Those are 3 areas where the ancient seawater went under the ground there in these crevices and it stayed for these millions of years. And it's really interesting. Bromine, which is, you know, the number one thing that Lanxess or Great Lakes Chemical Corporation is trying to extract from the ground, and they get their cut of it first. The bromine was discovered in 1948, and so and it's on the element chart. I think it's purple, and it's BR, capital B, little R, on the chemical chart. It's very good stuff. It's used for all kinds of things. Of course, it's been kind of competitive because, you know, there was a lot of money being made back in the I don't know, the 2010s, 2010 to 2020, 15, 18, so there was a lot of money made in the industry, and we were supplying staffing for it. And then in 2019, they worked out this deal with Standard Lithium, and they created the first pilot plant in 2019 for lithium extraction from these same wells, from the same Magnolia formation with which this bromine has been extracted from the brine into seawater. Salty, yucky, dead animals, millions of years dead, and just soup. Oof, good eating, right? But anyway, they extract it, run through the process, they get the bromine out, and then it runs through another process and it extracts the lithium. And you can look it up. It's like, you know, 0.32% of every liter of brine that can, you know, is lithium, which they figured out that extracting lithium from deposits such as this, the ancient seawater, is a lot easier and cheaper than mining it in traditional manners. Well, the process of again, though, it's just like extracting oil or water. Water, if you're drilling a hole in the ground, you're going to the place you need to be. And ExxonMobil's doing it right now over there. They have, I think, 100 and something thousand acres in Southwest Arkansas, right around Magnolia, Arkansas. And by the way, there's another major player over there. It's called Albemarle. They've also been in the bromine industry. So you have what this is. Let me just explain this. See, this is the golden triangle, and that's El Dorado, which is Lanxess. Magnolia is Albemarle, and now ExxonMobil, El Dorado, Lanxess, and Standard Lithium. And Camden is the defense industry. That's Aerojet Rocketdyne. There's Lockheed Martin, General Dynamics. These are huge players. Lockheed Martin has 1,000 employees in Camden. Over 1,000 employees, 1,300 employees. Aerojet Rocketdyne has 1,300 employees, over 1,000 employees. General Dynamics has about 500 employees. And they're all hiring in big numbers. Huge amounts of contracts have been granted in the past 3 or 4 years in this area. And it is just unbelievable. We're hiring, as a staffing company, we're hiring every week or two. We're having events every 2 weeks. And we're hiring typically at least 30 to 60 people on those days, plus other days. And this lithium is in the beginning stages. Now again, we've had this first pilot plant over there in El Dorado, but now we're in talks with Standard Lithium, and this will be a project that's going to start here in just a couple of months. I'm talking about just this summer, and that's going to be another I'm not calling it a pilot plant because they've already had a pilot plant, but it's the second plant. It's the first new plant on the new territory. So Standard Lithium, like ExxonMobil, has purchased the mineral rights on hundreds of thousands of acres in Southwest Arkansas. And they're going to just carry a mobile unit out there in the next few weeks, and they're going to start testing, drilling, and seeing how far down they have to go. You know, they got their maps. They got all their mineral maps and stuff that tells you where stuff's at. Now you got to go figure out how to make it work. And sometimes making these things work, you know, any kind of a processing or manufacturing situation, you got to get it lined out. It takes process, it takes time. You may have to go out there, and if you ever walked into a chemical mill, a chemical plant, not mill, it's not fucking milling anything, but you get my point. You walk into these facilities, and I mean, there's pipes everywhere, there's wires everywhere, there's components, there's different types of chemicals that must be used. You got to use one chemical to break it down and one chemical to break that down, and then you got to clean it all up with another chemical. Then you got to wash it all away, and you got to deal with rainwater washing on top of it. All these different things. I mean, it's just unbelievable amount of things you have to go through when you're doing this. Of course, you know, that's why, you know, it is what it is. Now, it's really interesting about these two industries, this chemical and oil extraction type services and the defense / aerospace industry. The workers' comp codes, they're listed as dangerous, but they're cheap because there's hardly ever anything happens. Now, when there does something happen, you know, it's can be pretty bad. But as a general rule in the defense industry, it's probably not going to be as, it's probably not, you're going to have the same kind of accidents you'll have in any type of a manufacturing environment. You know, your people get pulling their back muscles or whatever, picking up too much, turning wrong, using their body incorrectly, etc. But it's a good industry to be in. Either one of these are. The lithium stuff, though, that's where you want to be in Southwest Arkansas for the next 10 years. 20 years, they're saying that there is enough lithium and just that they know they can access. This is the stuff that's easy to access, that to do 50 million vehicles, car batteries, not just a battery for a car, but enough to do 50 million different vehicles. That's a lot of vehicles. You're selling 150,000 Toyota Tacomas per year. You know, 50 million vehicles is a lot of them. What Lazarus got here? There's a lot of people caving that get involved in the inspection process for the minerals, or is it mostly drilling at this point? I mean, like I said, this is the very beginning of it in this particular area. It's going to be big, though. I mean, these economic development groups are just really talking about it right now. It's where it's at. But right now, there's one big thing going on, and I'm going to write this word right here. And this word has been on my mind lately. And I'll write it big where you can see it. That's it right there. Can you read that from up there? What word is that? Positioning. Speleological Society. Speleological Society. Lazarus, you're going to tell me what that is, brother. I don't know what that means. Speleological. Let's look it up. Let's Google it. Speleological. Go to .com. Speleological Society. Here it goes right here. Let's see what it says. The National Speleological Society, an organization formed in 1941 to advance the exploration, conservation, study, and understanding of caves in the United States. Oh, spelunkers. I got you. Yeah, spelunkers. I don't know, man. I don't want no part of it. I want to be on the ground. I like my feet touching me. I like to be barefoot, too. More than anything, I like to be barefoot. That's the Arkansas thing. It's also a grounded thing, man. Human beings are not meant to have rubber on their feet all the time. You hear me? We need to touch the ground. Just fancy fit. I got you. Poor caving. I got you. Spelunkers. It's pretty fun, man. I've been in the caves and they turn off all the lights. Taking a picture one time up in Missouri, I believe it was. I'm like, man, give me out of this places.com. I got to go.com. I don't want to be on a radio station with a headlight. What am I talking about? Yeah, we're still trying to manage these things. One of the biggest things one of the small businesses I've been managing is this Ashley County. Now, I've had a good time with this. It's got me on the Economic Development Commission for 2 towns, and all kinds of things I never thought I could do. But it goes back to this same thing. It's positioning. If you want to do something, whatever it is you want to do, you can't just automatically jump into it all the time. Sometimes you have to do a little positioning. You have to figure out what you have to do to jack into the game, which is what Lazarus was talking about. What do I have to do to get into there? Now, one thing that I've seen a lot of people have is process control. That always helps out. If you're in that, if you want to go directly into operations, then you want to know about process control. Process control just knows how to move materials through piping, valves, how to turn valves, whether it be from a computer console or by hand. Then that's the operations part of it. That's where you're watching. You're basically sitting in a room like this in a control tower. You have a PC or 2 or 3. You have multiple monitors set up, and you have different processes. You have, moving. You have the drilling, and the drill goes up, and they pump it into one tank, and then they run it through a process, and they run it through another process. And this particular client wants to run additionally through this process, and they go out and they process through all the processes, click, 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 and then it comes out into this packaging process. And people sit there with what they call a super sack, typically, which is like 1,000-pound sack, 1,000-gallon sack, 1,000 whatever sack. It's a big sack. This is what Antonio has too, a big sack. And they get this big sack and they fill it up. They get their trucks, fork truck, powered industrial truck, and they drive this chemical, which is a pellet. And I think that's probably what lithium is as well. By the time it's done, it's a pellet. And it's mixed and matched and made into whatever you're going to make it into. I love how you mentioned just hopping on a plane with your Sunday best. That's really one of the most important parts, getting yourself out there. I'm working on it. That's it. Just making this decision, putting yourself out there. I tell you this, just showing up at like meetings. I got one of the biggest contracts of my life by showing up at a grand opening for Spartan Mowers back in 2019. This is the guy that created the Bad Boy mowers, and he'd been, making those, and him and his partner got into a fight. He left the company with $140 million in his pocket, and he went and created another business. He figured out how to work the Economic Development Commission. He wound up with his opening up his business. I was there. I met the governor. I met Neil McCoy. I met the owners of this business. I let them know we were doing staffing. I've been doing whatever I had to do to get in with them. I contacted the wife, the uncle, cousin, HR manager, operations manager, until I got a phone call and said, hey, you've been wanting to do staffing, now's your time. Next thing you know, we had 200-something people out there working. Next thing you know, they were on the market. It was a project. It wasn't a long-term thing. It was just a project. They were on the market. They sold out to Toro for $500 million. At the end, they were just paying us just to recruit people. Send them over to recruit because they were trying to bulk up the numbers to sell the business. You never know what's going on, what companies are doing. It may just be a sale process, that pump and dump. You never know what companies are doing. Of course, it's a good brand, but right now we went back to making the Bad Boy mowers. I love Bad Boy mowers. They're really good mowers. Of course, with mowers, you can get all the motors you want on the back of them. I'm going to tell you this. That's what the difference is the motors, or engine, excuse me. Not motor, motor's electric, but the engine. But with a Bad Boy mower, throw that in there real quick, is the deck. A lot of these cheaper decks, a lot of lawnmowers, you'll pay a little bit less for, $1,000 less. And what you're paying for with a Bad Boy, though, is you're paying for that deck. That thing is for real. It's welded. It's not just some kind of bent little molded thing that's going to break every time you hit something. Personally, I like the Kawasaki's and the Kohlers. A lot of people like Briggs and Stratton. I think you can even get bad boys now with a Honda. That may not be such a bad deal. But I have a Kohler 23 horsepower on mine, and I hadn't had any problems with it. Of course, my perspective on those small engines and motors and stuff is keep that non-ethanol gas in there. But you see, this is that's it though. You just make yourself available. Go there and take pictures, post it on Facebook or LinkedIn, tag them in it. Say, oh, let's go to the grand opening day. People love for you to love their business. Help them spread the word. What else we got here? Oh, you mentioned just hopping on a plane. That was pretty cool though. That's not something you do every day. I mean, we didn't know we were going to get the business, but we wanted it. We became what we think about. We're like, we wanted the business. We wanted to work in the chemical industry. It's complex to get people out there. And you're working with all kinds of government agencies. And you have to put people through background screening. You have to do lots of training. And what we do as a staffing company is recruit, screen, select, onboard, QA, lead. And you got to get people ready for the job that you're going into. And the chemical industry is very complex because you could, if you're not fitted correctly, if you're not trained correctly, if you don't know the buzzers and the beeps and all that kind of stuff, if something does go down, you'll be in trouble. But you got to put yourself out there. That's for sure. You got to go do things you don't want to do. Like the other morning, I woke up at 5 a.m. This was Saturday morning, and I've been wanting to go film and take images of this church in downtown Crossett. Well, I was like, no, I want to stay in my house and smoke weed. And I was sitting there, I was like, yeah, I'll just sit here and smoke weed and drink coffee this morning. And then I finally was like, you know what? I want to go take pictures of this place. And I went there and I spent 30 minutes at this church place. Beautiful church. It's on the historic registry there in Crossett, Methodist church. And I spent 37 minutes there taking pictures and video, and I posted it. And it was well worth my efforts. You know, people enjoyed it. They loved the fact that we got out that early and had taken it with that kind of light on this beautiful building with the lighting still on it, the light treatment still going on. But yet it's at twilight and there's blue sky popping through. I mean, you just got to get up and go. It doesn't make a difference. You got to get up and go. It's kind of like I always talked about when I hired new employees. Like, what's the most important thing to you? Reach and grab. That's the most important thing to me. You know, you're not going to get it sitting on the couch. You got to get up and go. Let's see what's going on here. We don't need Homer Simpson at the nuclear plant again, so to say. Yes. You do not think he got there and blow up that car. Blow the whole fucking thing up, man. This would not be cool, that car. This is not what Connor wants to do, that guy. But that's what I'm doing. I just I figure that I've got to get on here and start ranting more. I got to make it smart though. And the only thing I know to talk about is what I know about. Let me see here. You're right when saying the logistics involved in hiring have to be crazy. Oh, it's streamlined. We have everything's computerized. I mean, we even do online orientations with it because the first part of it, onboarding part, the orientation part, is online. We're watching videos with people online. We're having to log in through Zoom or Google Meet, and it's recorded too. And if they drop off or anything, we can send it back to them, and they can see what's going on. But it's a comprehensive training process to get people ready because most people are not working in chemicals. They're working in, an office, like where I'm at. They're in a grocery store. They're in some kind of a retail establishment, selling insurance or something like that. Maybe even producing things like packaging, or they may be even doing bombs. Defense industry. They may be making lumber. But when you walk into these chemical places, you're walking into some challenges. And also with the defense industry, we've actually had people try to steal napalm and walk out of the building. And everything there is tagged. Man, you're even tagged. Little scanner. Brad, this is Brad Barfield. Kind of like in that movie. What was it called? Mike Judge, speaking of Beavis and Buddy, speaking of cartoons. Idiocracy. Not sure. Not sure. Not sure. I'm not sure what I'm doing. Well, that's what it is. So anyway, that's it. I'm just jumping online for a little bit, yakking and yakking. I guess I better get off and get to work. But I do appreciate you jumping in with us. Yeah, right? That's a great way to get going to jail. When I want to jump off, I do appreciate you guys joining me, and we'll try to jump on a little bit more and with a more organized presentation. I may do some more on that chemical industry over there. I think you may enjoy that. I have a lot of information on it that could probably help out with getting into the career field. But if you want to get into it, let me know. Shoot me an email, brad@esa-staffing.com, bro. Peace out.